Welcome to the Everyday Ellises.
We are pure family chaos on the West Coast,
With two beautiful babies
renovating houses, adventuring, growing.
and a dash of drama.
Listen in.
I'm Jon,
I'm Amanda.
and we are
Everyday Ellises.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the mirror.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
So I think of the things you see in other people that are a reflection of yourself. What do you think about?
Yeah. Keep going with that. What's your opinion of that? I'm going to find a quote I want to talk about.
So I think I really started to understand and see this concept in my life when we lived in Sacramento, and there were parts of me that I was learning maybe weren't my favorite parts about myself, and I would see them in other people and start to reflect on, is that a disowned part of myself? Excuse me, a disowned part of myself that I need to lean into and love about me, or is that something about me that I want to change? And that's why I'm having a hard time when I see it in someone else.
Yeah. So last night, when I go to bed, sometimes I look at Emerson quotes. I like to read Emerson before I go to bed. And one of them, it was a simple one. I'm not even sure he was the guy who said it, but just one of them was, always do what you're afraid to do. And you'll hear other people be like, always follow your fears, right? Conquer your fears, etc. And then I match that with a big mindset I have in this phase of life, which is who, not how. All your answers in your life won't be how you do the problem or how you fix it. It's who you meet or who you learn from that'll allow you to fix your problem. That'll teach you how to the how, right? And when you put those two together, it's like, who makes you uncomfortable, but not in a bad way. The uncomfortability, if you really dig deep down into it, is your own issue, not theirs. They're not going to cause you physical harm. They're not going to be malicious to you in any way. It's just, being around them, something's going to come up that's going to make you feel very self-aware. It's going to make you feel insecure. Those are actually the people you should probably surround yourself the most with if you're trying to grow. Because the more you're around them, the more you're analyzing yourself and you're improving yourself. They're a who. And there's a reason you're fearful of being around them. And it's not, I think they're going to hit me. I think they're going to steal my children or something crazy. It's not that. It's not that. You're like, oh, they're not going to do those things. It's just, I'm self-conscious. That's a great person to have around, isn't it? That's a great person because you're going to grow a ton versus the person that's maybe a lower vibration than you, that you're around all day long. And you're like, oh, this is no quote unquote competition. You're not going anywhere with that. You're not growing at all. And there's a quote by, I think it's Warren Buffett. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Right? That's not the room you want to be in. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to be somewhere on the other side, so you still have a lot of room to grow.
So the example I think of, super simple, is there was this woman who would set really good boundaries and say no to things. And I was in my mid to late 20s and I hadn't learned that yet. And it was super frustrating to me that I was like, why does this person keep saying no, that they can't do this? And that was part of it, like, can't do it versus like
choosing not to.
So the wording that this person chose was also part of my frustration. But I didn't need a reason. She didn't owe me a reason, and I still hadn't learned that yet. But also I kind of felt like she was lying. But anyways, the point is, the thing that I didn't like was that she had learned to set boundaries. When I later reflected on it and learned that part of me that I saw in her that was frustrating me was she was actually setting a healthy boundary for her when she said, I can't make it to that. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be doing blah, blah, blah. It didn't matter what it was, that she knew that she had a boundary and wasn't going to be at that get together. And now in my mid 30s, I've been able to do that in my life and set boundaries. And I tell people, depending on who the person is, I give them more of an explanation. But I tell people, like, I need downtime. I want to see you. I need a reset day. I can't do something that day. Let's find another day. I still want to see you. And I don't feel that at my mid to late 20s, I understood that. It just was like, well, everyone's getting together. How can you not be a part of this? And I couldn't see how I needed to reflect and see that I wasn't having healthy boundaries. And maybe I was showing up to different things and getting together with people that I didn't really want to. Not that there's anything wrong, but maybe I needed downtime or I needed something different. And so that's, to me, a simple example of seeing something in someone else that is, it took me 10 years to really realize what the thing was. And once it applied and I started applying it in my life, I didn't know it at the time. I just saw it as this like frustrating thing in this relationship with a person, and I couldn't put an identifier on it. So hopefully if other things come up, it doesn't take me another 9 or 10 years to figure out why that little mirror reflection I'm seeing is going off in my head. And there's, ability to navigate through a little bit quicker.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining.
Have a good day.